Welcome to The Explainer. Hey, before we jump in, do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe, because we are about to unravel the final and most secret love story of one of the most famous women in history. You're going to want to stick around for this one.
Let's be real. You've heard the stories a million times. JFK, the charismatic president, Aristotle Onassis, the shipping billionaire. It's practically required reading at this point. But today, we are pulling back the curtain on the quiet, powerful, and, mysterious man who was with Jackie through the final, most private years of her life. This is the story you probably don't know.
So, meet Maurice Tempelsman. He was a Belgian-American diamond tycoon, and he wasn't just some fling. He was her partner, her companion, her confidant for the last whole decade of her life.
Now, after her second husband, Aristotle Onassis, died, Jackie was left with a pretty hefty fortune. $26 million. That's a huge sum, but honestly, that was just the starting point. Because then Maurice stepped in. Acting as her financial advisor, he took that $26 million and, he quadrupled it to over $100 million. So this wasn't just a romance, it was a financial powerhouse.
Okay, so who was this guy, right? The man who could just multiply millions like it was nothing and capture the heart of the world's most famous widow? His backstory is, pretty incredible.
His story is like the classic rags to riches playbook. His family literally fled the Nazis, they landed in New York, and they built a diamond empire from the ground up, with Maurice eventually cornering the entire African diamond trade.
And he wasn't just about the money. No. He was a huge political insider. He actually knew JFK way back when he was just a senator, and he was a massive donor to the Democratic Party. We're talking about a guy who had Bill and Hillary Clinton over for dinner. He moved in some serious circles of power.
And together, they built a life that was the absolute opposite of her years in the public eye. A life of, get this, intense, refined privacy. And that really tells you everything about what she was craving at the end.
Maurice basically became her shield. After decades of being the most photographed woman in the world, Jackie just wanted peace, and he guarded her privacy like a fortress. He was even known for shooing away paparazzi on their daily walks.
And their life together? It was the definition of quiet elegance. Dinners on the Upper East Side, weekends out at her horse farm in New Jersey, sailing on his yacht at Martha's Vineyard. Just simple, luxurious moments far, far away from the camera flashes she'd lived with her whole life.
But was he just this charming tycoon and a loving partner? Well, declassified documents suggest there might have been a much, much darker layer to his story. Yeah, so declassified government files? They paint a pretty shocking picture, suggesting his enormous fortune wasn't exactly built with clean hands. To protect his diamond interests, it seems he became a player in a much more dangerous game. So look at this. Publicly, he was a Democratic donor supporting African liberation causes. But behind the scenes, these documents allege he was a Cold War schemer accused of ousting socialist-leaning leaders and installing authoritarian rulers who'd be friendly to his business in places like Ghana and Zaire, a total contradiction.
And yet, whatever was going on in his business life, his devotion to Jackie, especially in her final days, was absolutely unwavering.
When Jackie was diagnosed with cancer, his devotion just became total. He didn't just visit her more. He moved his entire office into their apartment just to be by her side. He stayed with her every single moment, right up until their final public walk together in Central Park.
And at the end, he wasn't just her partner, he was family. He stood shoulder to shoulder with her children, John and Caroline, as they laid her to rest.
So it's a complicated legacy, right? A ruthless businessman, a political operator, and a deeply devoted partner. For a man who treasured his privacy so much, he certainly left us with a ton of questions.
So what's your take on this? Was he the great love of her life, or a complex figure with a seriously dark side? I really want to know what you think, so drop your theories down in the comments.
And hey, if you want more hidden stories just like this one, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. We've got plenty more secrets to uncover.